All right, hello class. My name is Nathan Pinder. Today I want to talk about Apple AirPods and whether or not you as a consumer should buy them or not. So hopefully by the end of this little discussion or presentation, you'll kind of have a better idea of the pros and cons of that specific product and whether you should buy them or not. So really, I just want to talk about is it worth it because of a few factors, and we'll go over that in just a second. But it's pretty common knowledge that a lot of people use headphones or earbuds on a daily basis, whether they're listening to music or watching a movie, whatever it is, on transportation, at school, even at work. Everyone is using headphones. And so in 2014, so 5 years ago, a company by the name of Soul Republic conducted a survey, and the survey was about just headphones and earbuds in general. And what they discovered is that 53% of millennials, which in this case is 34 years of age or younger, owned at least 3 pairs of headphones, which is crazy. At least 3. And they also add that they would wear these headphones for at least 4 hours a day, which can be off and on periods or in one setting. And then with 73% of users even admitting that they put them on to avoid needing to interact with other people, which I found kind of surprising. But so that was an interesting fact that I thought kind of put in perspective why this is a relevant topic. As new companies are coming out with different products and with different designs that have different qualities about them. So I also found another interesting statistic about headphones, which I'll show you guys here. All right, guys, cool. So here's that chart that I was talking about. So it's the retail value of global headphone shipments from 2013 to 2019. And so this is in billions of dollars. And so if you look down here, in 2013, 6 years ago, we've got 8.4 million. That's the retail value worldwide. And then as each year goes, it's an increase. 2017 to 2018, there's a big jump. So this is kind of the area where wireless headphones and earbuds are getting more popular. And so as we get to 2019, we're all the way to $26.1 billion in retail value, which is pretty shocking. So yeah, I thought that was another interesting statistic. So now we're going to talk about AirPods specifically. All right, guys, cool. So we're back. So I want to talk about AirPods specifically, which is a product by Apple. I'm sure you guys have seen them or have them or have friends who wear them. Or have seen people wear them. They're pretty popular. And so right now, the first and second generation AirPods are around about $199. And that's what they have on their website. And then they just released the Apple AirPod Pros, which are selling for $249. And $249 for some people is about 5 to 6 weeks of groceries, just to kind of put that in perspective. So it's a pretty big price tag on such a small item. And so I just want to kind of go over some things to help you kind of, I guess, kind of figure out whether it's worth it or not to buy them. So I just want to go over some history of Apple. And way back when their first earbuds were released with the original iPhone, way back when in 2001. And of course they were wired. They had a 3.5 millimeter jack end, which you plugged into your phone. And this certain model actually lacked a few things. And two of the things that they lacked were introduced later in 2009, which was volume buttons and then also a microphone, which are key ingredients for headphones nowadays. And then 3 years later, Apple released what they called their EarPods, And earpods are what we're kind of more familiar with as far as like wired Apple headphones or earbuds go. So I've actually got some here, or ones that look like them. So they have this kind of tip which is inserted into the ear. They have your volume, plus and minus, and then they have their connector. This one is the new one. It has a lightning cable, but back in the day there was a 3.5 millimeter jack, which is what most smartphones had. And then of course the whole system was wired. So these new earpods were different. They didn't have those gray silicone tips. There was less visible metal, and then all in all, it had a greater plastic shell for protection. But then, like I mentioned earlier, around 2017, 2018 is where a lot of more manufacturers were moving towards the no wire direction. Apple actually released their AirPods back in 2016, and then that's when that craze kind of started. So in 2016, AirPods are released, and then this year, 2019, the AirPod Pros are released. And so we're going to talk about some of that stuff. But it's also just one other note is that the AirPod Pros do have some more features that you guys might want to check out, but we're not going to talk about the AirPod Pros as much. Just know that they have interchangeable silicone tips, which is kind of a nice feature. So we're going to talk about some pros and cons. So I have another PowerPoint slide that I want to show, so we're going to go to that point. All right, cool guys. We're going to go over some pros and cons for these Apple AirPods. So first we're going to go over the pros, because I don't want this to be a biased review. All in all, from what reviews I could see, because I've never owned AirPods, so I personally don't know, but they sound great. The quality isn't amazing, but compared to the headphones I just showed you, the Apple EarPods, they do sound better. The bass is definitely more prevalent, and is overall just a better sounding earbud. The next one, they look great. They're aesthetically pleasing. If you've seen them, they look pretty cool. They're pretty small, which is actually one of the cons we're going to talk about. A lot of people really like the lid, the carrying case that the headphones come in. And all in all, it's just a very aesthetically pleasing product. The setup's convenient, at least for those who have Apple products like the iPhone or the iPod. They've designed it where the AirPods have a very convenient setup, which is what a lot of consumers are enjoying. So now the cons. There's a pretty big price tag. I mentioned the price tags just a little earlier. $199 for the first and second generation, and then $249 for the Apple AirPod Pro. Because they're small, a lot of consumers will end up losing them, and Apple has warranty programs where it doesn't cost a whole lot to replace them, but of course it's still kind of just obnoxious. This is where wired headphones really are just a better product because they're a lot harder to lose. And then EMFs, just simply put, are electromagnetic frequencies, and in the AirPods they're pretty much on 24/7 because the technology within them relies on being able to detect when you're talking or talking to Siri on a phone call or just using the microphone in general. It needs to be on 24/7 so it can detect that. And the reason I mention this is because they're still studying this, but there are some people who are skeptical about whether or not it's harmful for humans. And it's just something to note that's going on, but not a huge issue at the moment. All right, guys. So we're at the end of this presentation. I just wanted to be a short, simple kind of review of the AirPods. I wish I had some to show off, but I don't, unfortunately. But just as someone who is reviewing a product, I just want to kind of issue a warning for consumers who are thinking of buying them, these AirPods, that maybe just consider other options because the price tag is pretty large. You can find great quality headphones or earbuds, even ones that look similar, for a much lower price. Some that even sound better. Like for me, I have a pair of Beats X, which are I think just a little over $100, if not $100. And they sound amazing. They just have one single wire that connects both earbuds, and so it's pretty hassle-free. I realize a lot of people don't like the wiring because it can kind of get tangled, which is just another reason a lot of people want wireless earbuds or headphones or earbuds. But just as a consumer, really consider all the options that you have, and definitely look up other reviews people have on the product. And that's it for today, so thank you for watching.